Hey guys, Sonic and Mario Fan 2004 here, and today is June 23rd, 2025, which means today is the 34th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. And since today is the 34th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, we're going to talk about theories that might happen in Sonic the Hedgehog 4, along with my best friend Ewan McKay.
Hi.
So, what are your theories that might happen in Sonic the Hedgehog 4?
I think there's probably going to be some form of time travel that will happen in it.
Yeah, like in the post-credit of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, we've been asking, where did Metal Sonic even come from? Or even Amy Rose?
Yeah.
You know, Ewan?
Yeah, we were asking that question a lot. I proposed the idea that he comes from an alternate dimension where Eggman wins, and where the entire Earth is under his control.
Yes. And Amy Rose might come from the future or something? Don't you think, Ewan? What do you think?
Sure. I mean, the only thing that we have to go on is a rumor that the creator is going to include time travel in the series.
Yes. You want to explain more?
Another theory I thought of, and I think Arian's probably thought of too, is that we're going to see Mobius, like, more of it than what we saw in the first film.
Yeah, like, Silver the Hedgehog and Rouge the Bat? Like, maybe they would appear in the movie when it comes out.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think we're actually going to travel to Mobius in that film.
Yeah, but do you think the characters will also travel to the past?
I mean, it could happen. They might decide to do both, but that might overcomplicate the story, so it will be either Mobius visit or time travel. It'd be weird if they decide to do both.
Yes, but if someone was asking who created Metal Sonic,
Eggman?
maybe it could be Eggman, or either Agent Stone or Commander Rockwell, because she hates aliens, remember?
Yes.
Because we've seen the movie.
That. Yes.
And I think we know how Shadow survived. He probably used chaos control.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah, he could have, or maybe the rings that Sonic had that act as teleporters.
Well, those are his rings. Well, those are Shadow's rings. He just took them off so he can just like push the ship away from the Earth before it exploded, and then before the ship exploded, he probably teleported.
Sure.
Yeah. Now we can see why Shadow is the ultimate life form.
Yeah.
Oh, and about the locations that we've been expecting of,
Yeah,
explain
we thought of a couple. New York, Japan, I think, was another one.
Well, that was
Canada.
that was in the Sonic movie 3 that also happened. Well, it took place in two countries besides America in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, are Japan and the United Kingdom. And also, guys, did you know that the Sonic movies were filmed in Canada, but we would like to see if some clips would take place in Canada. Like, literally showing Canada in some of the clips from Sonic 4, since, like, we would like to see if Sonic characters would travel to all around the world.
Sure. That's something that we thought of before, but they might not be able to go to all of the countries around the world.
Yeah, and since the Sonic movie 4 will take place in New York, maybe we would like to see if, we talked about the characters traveling to the past to see what things looked like back then. Yeah. Oh yeah, and did you know that Silver the Hedgehog can time travel? You remember, Ewan?
Well, yeah, I knew that, but I thought it was just telekinesis and time travel, and that's about it that he could do.
And you know where the names of the places that we've been expecting of?
New York City.
Yeah, and we talked about
somewhere in Toronto.
Yeah, it's basically, you want to explain?
Well, we thought that they would travel back in time to New York City, and they would explore that area of New York, like upstate New York.
Yeah, like seeing the Twin Towers. Yeah, I know it's pretty disturbing to see because of what happened during 9/11.
And for Ontario, we thought that they would visit an old factory that was demolished over 30 years ago. It's called the St. Lawrence Starch Factory or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically called the St. Lawrence Starch Factory. It was an old factory that was opened in, I think it was like 1890, it was?
Yes, it was 1890.
And it got shut down in 1990.
1990, it was demolished in 1993.
And remember what show it was in?
It was in Mighty Machines.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite shows from my childhood. It was my favorite episode. It happened in the episode called At the Demolition Site. Because my favorite part from that episode were the two water towers and that giant chimney fell.
Yeah, I watched Mighty Machines 2 when I was a kid, but I don't remember the episode as well as Arian does.
Maybe it would be interesting if the Sonic movies will get a lot of references, including the Knuckles spin-off series. Like Sonic and his friends were watching Casper and Knuckles got scared.
I mean, they did do a tie-in to the Knuckles series with the third film that came out. They had one of the characters from the Knuckles series come in. It was brief, but it was about like 5 minutes worth of screen time, give or take.
So, and you remember any references from the Sonic movie franchise? Like in the Sonic movie 3, Eggman mentioned about, that he hated watching Green Lantern in 2011.
No, I don't remember that too.
I think you remember. Actually, I think you have because we've seen the movie. Because he was like, "Oh, a Nano Fist." I haven't seen that since I watched Green Lantern in 2011. During the fight between Eggman and Gerald.
Vaguely, yeah. Until, I watched the film, but I don't remember that particular line until you brought it up.
Oh, and speaking of the demolition of the St. Lawrence Starch. It was the Temperament Demolition who was responsible for demolishing the company.
Yeah, that is true. They even have a Facebook page. If you want to go check it out, we'll include a link in the description.
Yeah, and they have so many old photos of Port Credit where you see the factory, the same factory. Yeah, and
yeah, it's on the Mississauga Heritage site.
Yeah,
just look it up on
and also it's not fictional. It actually happened. It happened way back ago before we were born.
Yeah.
I don't know if some people know about the factory, but I'm pretty sure some people do.
Yeah, there's probably a ton of people that know about the...
Maybe like some of the people who used to work there a long time ago, before it got demolished, like who lived in Port Credit.
Yeah, probably only the people that are living in that area would even know about the demolition or the factory.
Yeah.
Or the people that worked on Mighty Machines.
Yeah, so anyways, you got anything what's going to happen in the Sonic movie 4?
Besides the theories that we propose, not really. This one might not happen, but maybe we'll see Robotnik again.
Yeah,
somehow.
He probably survives somewhere.
Maybe. They'll have to think of a really good reason to explain how he survived, since he would have likely died.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the way how Metal Sonic traveled back in time, it did the Terminator reference. Remember?
Yeah. I remember that when he first appears in the force field, I think.
Yeah. Because it would be cool if the characters would travel back in time, since it's going to be about time travel elements.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's about time travel. I just have to wait and see for something to happen.
Yeah, and maybe I was expecting I would like to see the characters if maybe traveling to the past decades, like 70s, 80s, 90s, and maybe if Shadow traveled too, maybe he would see himself that he was still trapped inside.
Yeah, he could.
And how would he react?
It would probably be sad for him because he would have associated that with what happened before with the explosion and with the
Yeah.
death of Maria and all that stuff.
Yes. And I was thinking maybe if the characters travel to Port Credit, Mississauga, Ontario, maybe I think Sonic would recognize the factory. Like, let's just say, like if the characters were watching the episode at the demolition site from Mighty Machines, like just like they watched Casper, you know,
Yeah, they could probably see it then, and
like maybe
so,
maybe only Sonic would remember it since he came to Earth.
yeah. Well, only he or the people who were there at the time would remember it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to see the characters traveling back in time, since it's going to be about time travel.
Yeah, I think so too.
And yeah, but I think the characters, if they travel to New York in the past decades, I think they would all remember the Twin Towers that got destroyed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because yeah, I know it's pretty depressing to see, but at least it's not a. Well, I mean, yeah, it is bad, but yeah, it is really bad. But I was gonna say, the factory we just talked about that got demolished. At least it's not as bad as 9/11 because it was their job to demolish it.
Yes.
Because I think it's because it's getting old and they were making less amount. Don't you think?
Yes, we did a bit of research, and part of the reason why it was demolished
And
was because of they couldn't make money for the property taxes for the land that the building was built on.
Yes, and I think they were getting bad or something, and they don't work anymore.
Well, that probably was a part of it because the factory was over 100 years old, and it's a lot of upkeep to keep a building that old and that big running. And if you're not making enough money from the business, it's going to be difficult to do that.
Yeah. You got any more theories of what's going to happen in Sonic 4?
No, not really. You?
Yeah, like oh yeah, wait, I got something. Like I would like to see if all the rest of the characters become super, just like Sonic and Shadow did.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, because if the rest of the characters go super with those Chaos Emeralds, I think the crowd would go wild.
Yeah, they would probably like to see that.
But I got a question.
What's your question, Arian?
The question is, what if the humans like Robotnik or maybe Tom would go super? What if they do?
They'll have golden hair, I guess.
Yeah, or even any human characters. Not talking about the Mobians, just the humans. Like there's
Right.
Maddie Wachowski, there's Wade Whipple. You know these characters?
Yes, I know about them. Well, Wade because of the show.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in the. He was mostly shown in the Knuckles series.
And he gets a cameo in the third film.
Yeah, that he was playing. I think it was like hockey with the Master Emerald.
Yeah, it was some form of hockey.
But anyways, yeah. Jeff Fowler and Paramount Pictures, please make this happen because because we're trying to give you a good storytelling. It would sound interesting, right, Ewan?
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, yeah,
It would sound really
companies
nice.
could accept requests if we're trying to make it interesting and giving them good storytellings.
Yeah, I mean, we can't make them accept it. We can't really force that, but hopefully they do.
Yeah,
listen to what-
because I mean, they
So-
could because it would sound more interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any final thoughts before we?
Yeah,
review?
yeah. I think maybe I think maybe speaking of this, yeah, that about Shadow and Amy. I think they all came from Sonic's world since they're all Mobians, right?
Yes.
But how is it possible that Gerald created Shadow? You know, how is it possible?
He
Because
probably
he
didn't.
came from a meteorite and crash landed at Earth in 1974.
Yeah. So he just found him and trained him to be some sort of weapon.
Yeah, and thought he would be dangerous.
Yeah. Or at least that's what he was trying to train him to be.
Wait, that's in the Sonic movie 3, but yeah. But speaking of the Sonic movie 4, like, will it mostly take place in New York? Like, would Eggman rule the world?
I mean, they might go with that. Who knows?
Yeah, you want to explain more?
Um,
You could.
yeah, so the idea I thought of was that Metal Sonic will come from a world where Eggman actually does succeed and he does rule over the entire Earth. And, well, Metal Sonic is kind of sent back in time to deal with the Sonic of that current day, or at the very least, he's from a different world to deal with the Sonic that's in that world.
Yeah. So I hope this will happen because we would like to see so many references from different franchises in the Sonic movies. Right, Ewan?
Yeah.
Yeah, including the
Figured
Knuckles
interesting,
spin-off
yeah.
series. And see what's going to happen, like something that we're expecting of, something that we're expecting to happen, something that we want to happen. Like, because it would sound more interesting to see how they explore. Or wait, speaking of the Sonic movie 4, do you think there's gonna be like, is it also gonna be about a multiverse?
Who knows? They might go with that.
Like if there's another Eggman from another universe? Because I remember in the Sonic movie 2, Eggman mentioned about the multiverse that he's gonna take over.
But yeah, you did mention something.
Because I mean, you've seen the movies, right?
Yeah, I have, but it's been a while since I've seen the first two.
Well, I still remember watching these films, and
That's impressive.
So, anyways, yeah, I would like to see so many references where the characters travel to the St. Lawrence Starch Factory in Port Credit, Mississauga, Ontario, and in New York, like way back long ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like 70s, 80s, 90s. Well, somewhere in the I think was it like the early 90s the St. Lawrence Starch Factory got demolished?
Yes, so your best bet would see it like before the 90s, maybe even before the 80s if there was already financial struggling at that point.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's all we can think of. So
yeah, that's about it for today.
yeah, and I hope this will happen in the film. Yeah, we're not trying to spoil the film. We just want that to happen.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. That's all we can think of, and I hope Jeff Fowler and Paramount Pictures will accept it.
I hope
And
so too.
yeah, I hope they will make this happen. So anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoy this theory, and I'll see you next time in the next video I upload. Sonic and Mario Fan 2004 out.